Hello, 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 Stampin' Friends, and good evening. This is Caron, your ATX Stampin' Lady. Come on into the craft room and let's have some fun today. Guys, we are playing with the Altenew Posh Petals Build a Garden set. This is the um, March 2026 Build a Garden kit. Um, and I did an unboxing for you earlier this morning, so I just wanted to come on tonight, and we're just going to go ahead and create with this kit that we got this morning. So if you, where did I put it? If you recall from this morning, this Build a Garden set includes the stamp set, the coordinating stencils, and the coordinating die set. Okay. I have already gone ahead and we're going to mainly work on trying to do the stenciling. Let me turn this down. I think we might get a little bit better and less glare. So let me put that out of the way. So this is a 4-piece stencil set. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And if you're not familiar with Altenew's stencils, they are numbered and they are etched in on the mylar, which one they are. So this is stencil number 1, this is number 2, 3, and 4. I generally, when I'm stenciling, tend to work with in the order. I mean, it just makes sense to me to work in the order in which um, the artist or they created them. Now, in addition to that, I've noticed this is the second time I'm playing with Altenew stencils. There's a dividing line on the stencil, and really and truly all that means is that this is going to be able to stencil two different parts of the flower. All of this will be one side, and then all of this will be another side. So it's you gotta have to work differently. We might have to mask off certain areas in order to get things to play along. I am working with, even though I'm working with Altenew products, I am going to be working with Stampin' Up inks. The layering guide, which I'm going to keep open, tells us the colors, the Altenew colors that's used were obsidian, dusty pink, blush rose, raspberry sunset, misty sage, mossy meadow, green opal, marshland, and seafoam. So here's the coordinating Stampin' Up colors that I'm going to use to create my project. I'm going to use, hold on, I dropped one of my inks. So I'm going to use Petal Pink. I might change that out. Petal Pink, Pretty in Pink, and Magenta Madness. Those are the pinks that I decided to use instead of Dusty Pink, Blush Rose, and Raspberry Sunset. Hmm. This is bubblegum. Oh, bubblegum pink is a little too purple. So I'm going to play with these three to see what that looks like. And then for the leaves, I decided I would play with lemon lime twist, oops, granny apple green, and old olive. Okay, so let's hope those guys work. All right, now I have been playing with, so the other things that I'm going to use is I don't even know where I got this craft mat from, but this is a mat that I got. Um, it's like a self-healing mat. And so I'm going to work with that. And the reason I'm using this instead of just my desktop is I want to be able to turn and flip, and I can't do that on the with my silicone mat that's already down. The other thing that I'm going to play with today is a stamp and stencil mat. Okay, this is a Simon Says product. Um, and what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to give um, it's supposed to be able to hold your cardstock in place while you're stenciling, and so it doesn't shift and it doesn't move. This is the first time I'm using this because I do love stenciling, so we're going to give it a try and see how it works. Alrighty. It's very tacky, so there's also yeah, it's very tacky. There's a protective sheet that we use. And then I am just going to, I went ahead and I die cut um, 3 of these, the main images previously. So let's see what we got going on here. I think, yeah. Now, I'm going to try this because I've seen people say that sometimes it's best to do your die cut first and then do your stenciling. I've seen people say that sometimes it's best to do the stamping first, then the stenciling, stamp, die cut, and then stencil. And then there's other different variations on how some recommendations. In this instance, I'm just going to try um, I'm going to just try with the die cutting first to see how I like that process and then go from there. All right. All right. Hold on. Let me get comfortable here. Make sure that's all tacked down. All right. Now let's go ahead and try to align our stencil. All right. Again, making sure. Well, it's definitely going to cover, right? So we're not going to have to worry too much about things not being in place. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. This part's good. I need to adjust my top just a little bit more because you can see that kind of did not line up as much. There we go. Oh yeah, I think we're good now. Perfect. Or at least that's what we're going to work with, right? Now it is tacky. Perfect. All right. There we go. All right, we're ready to go. How's everybody's day today? So because of that, I'm going to try to just use two of the Altenew blending brushes, one for each color family, and see how that works. Now, one of the tips that I have, because I've been so involved in learning a lot about stenciling, one of the things that I've learned or been made to understand about stenciling is making sure that when you're adding the ink in your circular motion, make sure to go clockwise and counterclockwise, right? That way you'll ensure good coverage from both sides, right? And then the other thing to note with stenciling is making sure to add ink in layers. And by that I mean start off light and then add more ink as necessary, okay? That way, because you can always add more, it's very difficult to take it away once it's already down, okay? All right, if you're joining me, just say hello. I am giving this a play with playing with some Altenew stamp set. This is the Build a Garden, um, what is it called? Posh Petals Build a Garden Kit. I do find that I am totally in love with the Altenew stencils. I just love them. All right, now that's just the base layer. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add a little bit more dimension. I'm just gonna go in and on the edges, just try to be a little bit more heavy-handed with my ink application. So right off the bat with stencil number 1, you'll see at least a little bit of a gradation in the colors. It'll go from light to dark already just with those applications. Okay? Because I'm sticking just to one side of the stencil and building highlights into the project. Okay? And you'll see it as I lift it, what I'm talking about. I cut 3 of the dies, and one of them I'm going to try to see if I find that it's easier to stamp it first, then die cut it, and see if I like that method better. All right, color number 1 is complete, and that was Stampin' Up Petal Pink. Let's put that away. All right. Look at that already. All right, I'm going to grab me my alcohol. And I'm just going to wipe this down color-wise before I move on. I don't know why this is stuck here. That's the beauty of the silicone mat, I believe. It just sticks. Okay, that's stencil number 1. And I am going to just lightly clean that color. Now, because I'm staying in the pink family, there's really no need to do that. And because I'm working from light to dark, there's not going to be a, what do you call that? A transfer of color. All right, so here we go. So this is the first set that has this line. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to line this up. Now, the other thing that we have, I don't know if you can see it here, is that there is the outline of where the leaf should be. That also should help you with lining up the stamp. We won't ink blend anything on this side with the pinks because you can see these are leaves. We'll have to adjust in a minute. All right, so hold on. Let's go ahead and get this lined up. Okay, perfect. All right, perfect. I think we've got good coverage there. Wait, what's going on there? This guy's got to come here. So do you see how we mean with this? All right, so we know that guy's got to come down here. And there's so many adjustment points that we can follow just to make sure that we're lining up the stencil. I'm not right over it, so my head is definitely not covering. I'm definitely not seeing all of the angles. There we go. That one's good. That one's good. Good. I'm trying to line this up properly. So it might take a little bit more time. Perfect, right there, right there. I think we've got it pretty good. Okay, once we've got everything where it needs to be, we're going to do that. But then I'm also going to grab a piece of another cardstock because I want to make sure that nothing across this line I stencil. Where's my little sticky pad? Okay. Okay, so now the next color we're going to use is our Pretty in Pink to lay down our next layer of color. Okay, so the one thing you'll notice is that um, Petal Pink is more of a peachy tone, and that I can see now that I've laid it down, but it's okay because we're just going to add a little bit of difference to our project. That's all. It's just going to enhance the depth of color that we're seeing. And don't forget when you're applying the ink to go in a clockwise and a counterclockwise motion. I think I might be off a little bit, but that's okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. Going to add just a little bit more depth to the base of that. Just a little bit more depth. Like that. Awesome. But it's still light towards the outer petals. Outstanding. Now before we take this stencil off, we're going to transition. We're going to take it off, but we're going to have to reposition it so that we capture the leaves, yeah? You see what I mean when I told you about the petal pink being a little peachy? But I look at that difference in color. I think it's beautiful already. All right. So now we're going to just go ahead and we're going to try to align. Uh, hmm. This one's not as easy to line up. What's going on here? Okay, so here we go. We're going to use this line as our reference points. Okay, like that. Aha. I see the outline of this leaf right here. Perfect. Perfect. Line it up just like that. Okay, I think that one's good. That one's good. All right. Okay. Then we're going to use this guy again so that we don't, well, that one's not lined up properly. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now it's perfect. Sometimes you just got to do a little bit of maneuvering. So that's our leaves. So I'm going to start with our lemon lime twist. Okay, we're still on stencil number 2. So after stencil number 1, oh wait, those should have been things up there, see? And now we're going to go ahead and add, oh, that should have been leaves up there. Gotta read them a little bit better. So this is our first time, and we can see, I can see that I've already made mistakes, but I'm going to finish this. And the reason I'm going to finish it is so, one, when I put the next one in, I know exactly where my mistake was, right? And I'll know how to address my mistakes. And I'll tell you exactly where those were. Okay. So if I had followed the guide on stencil number 1, this would have been leaves. So this should have been my green color. This should have been leaves, my green color, and these should have been leaves. Okay? So we might have a little bit of a different flower today. And I'm just adding those little shades and highlights again. But it's your flower, your card. You can do whatever you want, right? We're just going to account for different seasons here. All right. Our second stencil is complete. And let's just wipe that off. Oops, be careful. Don't want to damage the stencil. All right, that's stencil number 2. Number 3, it's also divided, right? So let's see what we've got going on here. We've got this as a reference point, which is this. And this is a reference point over there. Okay. There's several reference points for items in here, so just be mindful of that, yeah? Okay. This line goes here, so we're going to make sure that this gets covered up here. So we've got, if we're following the guide again, we're on stencil number 3. So stencil number 3, you see we've got some greenery here and greenery over there. So this part is green, this is not. So we're going to put our green here as well, right? So I'm going to start again with my lemon lime twist on here because there's no greenery there. And then this is greenery down here. It's important to use the guides, right? Especially when it's your first time using the stencil. When I started with the first stencil, I did not use the guide. I thought I knew where everything was supposed to be placed. So the first thing that I can definitely tell you is you want to make sure that your guide is handy and available when you start your project. Okay, that's number there. That's all the greenery there, but now we've got to use, we're going in with our third pinkiest color, which is Magenta Madness. I didn't use Magenta Madness a lot when it was out as a Stampin' Up color. It was too pink for me. I'm not necessarily a pink girl, but I find that I am using it quite a bit now that it's retired. Funny how that works, right? Funny how that works. Okay. Sorry about that. Something just got me in the throat there. All right, and then all those areas are done. Wait, nope, we've got to come down here. All right, let's make sure that we're lined up down here. And we're off just a little bit on this side. So let's go ahead and line us up down on here. There we go. Like that. Put that in place. And we don't want to color over anything else other than this guy. So here we go. There we go. All right, so we're done with that set, and I am going to wipe it off. And I believe that's all the pink that we're going to need. So let's clean that off. But we're going to keep them out for just a second anyway. So now we're going to use this side. And again, we have our guidelines in terms of how we should align. Like that. I think. Let me see where that is down there. All right, we got everybody nice and lined up. So now on this set of, ooh, let's see, where's that line at? That's green also. Okay. What's this up here? Oh, that's on that side of the line. So we're going to put this here. some green here. It's not supposed to be green, right? Just a little bit. Then I'm going to go in with a secondary green, which I believe we had was Granny Apple. That's a little dark. So again, we would want to start really light with our Granny Apple. Because we can always add more. We had a very busy day today. Yeah. There we go. All right, that's stencil number 3. Let's pack this up. I'm getting ready to use stencil number 4. And stencil number 4 is to finish off all of our leaves. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, so this is showing here. I'm trying not to put my head in the shot, so I might be off a little bit, but I am okay with that. Yeah. For tonight, I'm okay with that. Normally, if I'm crafting by myself, I'm not okay with that. I'm not. But because I don't want to put my head in the shot, I'm going to be okay for tonight with if I'm out off just a little bit. What did I miss? I missed something. Hmm. Oh, that's what I missed. I didn't miss anything. I didn't miss anything. There's a line here and then there's one here. So I didn't miss anything. Which guy is this? Trying to see. Okay. Nope, that's not that one. I'm trying to see. Okay, so let's go back to this. Okay. Is that right? Okay. I think this is what we have right here. I think this is what we have right here. No. All right, guys, this is taking me a little bit to figure out. So give me just a second. Okay. This is here. This is down here. I gotcha. I got it. Again, sometimes it just takes a minute to line it up. But once you find it and it's in place, you've got it. Okay? Excuse me. Okay. That's that. And then we're going to go back in with, something's missing up here. Not sure what I missed there. I'm going to pull out my stencils again because I know I missed something. Okay. This is going to go here. Bring that here. All right, I think we've got everything lined up. I'm going to grab, I think, my Mossy Meadow on this one. Wasn't planning to go that dark, but I think so. I might be very easy with how much Mossy Meadow I add. Okay. I think that's it for that, guys. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm missing something up here. So I'm going to go back through my stencils and see what I can find. This was number 3, and it's either in 1 or 2 that I missed it, I think. So this is stencil number 1. Oh yeah, I missed a whole bunch. No, I didn't. I did not miss a whole bunch. Because that's 1. Nope, that's 2. That's why. Nope, didn't miss it. That is just what it is. Yeah, it started out that way. I'm not sure what that is. Sorry guys, I'm Monday night quarterbacking what I did. So that's there. But I'm still not seeing any. All right, so stencil number 1, we should have these leaves, the lines, those, and those. So let's do that now. And these should be leaves up here. And these should be leaves. Okay. Altenew, I am so sorry, but this is my first effort on this one, and I just feel like I've made a mess somehow. All right. So this is what I have. It's not bad. It's not great. Oops, but I would definitely redo it. But it's not a bad floral piece. Take a look at that. Oops, is it focused? Can you see it? So it's not bad, but I'm not okay with not bad. So we're going to do it again, just to make sure. So this is what we have. Okay? All right. What I am going to do on this one is I'm going to line it up with the stamp set. That might make it better. Okay? So I'm going to try this one more time. I might want to change my colors, right? A little bit. Where's my next one? I'm going to try it one more time. Okay. Okay, so what I'm looking at, you see there's white space on the design. So maybe I'm not wrong. Maybe I'm not wrong. All right, so we're going to put this here one more time. And I think I want to go with not so much pinks. Pinks is not my favorite color, so I don't really do well with pink. Give me a second. Let me put this back in place, and then I can figure out my next colorway. I think for my next colorway, I normally do blues. I normally do, but I think I want to go with like maybe an orangey color. How about we do orange? Okay. So if we're gonna do orange, let's start with, ooh, where are we gonna go with oranges? Mm, how about we do a Mango Melody? This is old, on Retired Color. Ooh, that's an orangey. What's this guy right here? Ooh, Daffodil Delight. Let's try Timid Tiger. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. stick with my same shades of green. Definitely stick with that. And let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. All right. Alrighty, stencil number 1. Keeping in mind that our these areas are leaves. All right. Yeah. So we're lined up down here, but we're not lined up here. So let's do that, and I think we're good now. Perfect. All right. Let me go in with a little bit of alcohol, clean my green brush a little bit, because I left with the dark. And now that we know, what is it that they say? Know better, do better. Okay. Clean that off. And I do clean with alcohol. The reason I do alcohol on the blending brushes is, one, alcohol does dry faster. So if we remember, these are leaves right here. So let's block everything off from here because we don't want to mess that up, right? And we're going to start with our lemon lime twist. Now, lemon lime twist is very green, even though in my mind, lemons, I was thinking like yellow, but it's a little green, okay? That's the undertones that I see in the lemon lime twist. Remember, right? Remember that know better, do better, right? So now these guys are also leaves. So we're going to do this one separately. And we're doing them separately so we don't have any contamination, right? Not that there's anything wrong with that. Okay. And then I think right here is the extent of our leaves. But we'll check just to make sure, because we got leaves right here. Okay. All right, following our guide, we've got leaves up here. 1, 2, 3. And then we've got leaves here and here. So this is a leaf right here. I am strictly following the guide this time. Can't lead you wrong if you follow the guide. All right, I think, ooh, Daffodil Delight, here we go, is our yellow. So I'm going to put this here, mask that off. And I'm going to start very light, because I do want a light base of color. I don't want it to be too dark. And again, we can always start light and we can always add more color. We just cannot take it away. So remember that. Start with a light hand. To apply that yellow. If you want it to be darker, Once you lay down that color, go right ahead and add more. Okay. Then I'm just going to add more color towards the base for depth. Like that. And stencil number 1 is complete. Perfect. I think we're going to get this one to do what we want it to do. Yes. All right, this is number 2. All right. So going in, and we'll see number 2, we'll add more dimension to those leaves on this first side, and then more color here, and then the bottom half is again our greens, okay? So let's go ahead and line this up. This is the guide here is on that flower. Mm, that's good. That's good. What are we lining up down here? That guy right there. We gotcha. Gotcha. All right. So we've got flower here, and that's going to be in our mango melody. Oh, this is number 3. Sorry, guys. Where's my stencil number 2? I just spent that time lining up stencil number 3. I need stencil number 2. There we go. Again, let's put this back in order. Make sure it's lined up. Hold on. I have to pick it up so I can see it. Sorry. Oh yeah, I was off. I was way off. I was way off. There we go. And then we got this here. I think we got it. I think we got it. Just like that. Okay. So we've got some green up there. And that next green is going to be our granny apple. So number 2, we have greenery up here. Our granny apple. Okay. Where else do I have green? Okay. I got a little bit of green right here. Right there. And the rest on this side is going to be our mango melody. Now you notice I did not mask off this time, right? The only reason I didn't do that is because I'm a little bit more confident in where my lines are. But normally I would tell you to mask off. Okay, start light. Start light. And then if you need to add more, add more. I knew I was kind of going towards the oranges, which is kind of where I wanted to be. All right, so we're good with this side. And we're going to move to so what I try to wipe them off to make sure is that I don't have um, any major ink transfers. Right? No. No. There we go. I think that's right. Ooh, that's perfect right there. Right? All right. I love it when I get it lined up. And then, of course, I move it. That's missing. Told you. And it was in number 2. Okay. Okay. And go ahead and lay that down. And our line again is here. So I'm just going to mask this part off. Anything over that line because I don't want anything to get colored. So we're on our Granny Apple Green on this side. As well. I'm definitely getting a better blend here. Definitely getting a better blend. It's really just important to make sure that you line things up properly. Okay. It's just better. It is just 100% better. All right, number 3. Now that we've got this, so this guy is covered up here with number 3. All right, we've got you in place right there. Okay. Perfect. Okay. All right, so I don't want to get anything over here or over here. Okay. So we've got our next set of green. I'm going to go with the Granny Apple here. You can tell that I'm concentrating a lot on my ink blending. I have to. You saw what happened when I didn't concentrate. I made a big old mess. So I think to finalize the project, what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna stamp the outline, okay? And I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do that. And the last color I'm gonna use is Timid Tiger, right? Remember, I don't want to go there, which I almost did. Okay, and then we want to get Timid Tiger in here. All right, so that's done. I believe that was the last of the colors, right? On that side. Then, let me clean that off a little bit. One of the tricks that I've learned for myself in with cleaning my masks or my stencils, whichever term you use, is when I'm done with them, like done for the day, I'm going to spray them with rubbing alcohol. I am, right? I think that's right. Bring this back in, like so. Make sure. Did I just move this? I did. Didn't stick. Okay, make sure. I had it so perfect too. I had it exactly where I wanted it. Guys, one of the best ways to make sure, and not just Altenew stamps or stencils, but to make sure that you know that your stencils are in the right orientation, is if you're able to read the language in the right direction every single time, meaning if you start and it's backwards, keep doing that. Okay? Don't switch it up in the middle. Keep it the same orientation. All right. Going in with Old Olive, Stampin' Up's Old Olive. All right, make those last green lines. Again, you can start light and then you can build more color if you need it to be darker. Okay, that's done. All right, now we're going to go in with our last stencil, stencil number 4, which I put somewhere. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and this covered these leaves here, like so. Like that. And it was just these on this side. Wait a minute, I missed something down here. Nope, I didn't. Right down here. And I'm going to go with the Mossy Meadow on that side. Oh gosh, didn't stick. Okay, note to self, be mindful of that. Okay, I think we got it. I just messed it up again. Yep. This is why I don't talk when I'm stenciling, because I'm making a mess. See? There we go. And then that side is done. And then we're going to get ready to do that part. Now I'm going to grab, oops, I'm going to change up my scheme a little bit here. And I'm going to grab my wild wheat. This again is a retired color. But I want to have just a little bit of variation in it. So this time. Okay. And I remember we'd start with this one. Oh. That's what we used as a guide. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Now I'm going to start very light. If I can find me a blending brush for this guy. Let's go with this. Just lightly. Because this one I just might want to build layers of color. Right? Oops. This moved a lot. Oh, it didn't move too much. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think that's supposed to be like that, but that's what we got. Sometimes you just got to work with what you got, right? Oops. All right. And then the last layer that we have goes here. Oh, I'm seeing it now. I am. I am seeing it now. Oh, amazing. Okay. So I think what I want to do for this is I'm going to use the same color, but it's going to be a lot darker. So I am going to build this color so dark. Yeah. You'll see. Okay. Do you see the difference? All right, so we're done with our coloring. So now I want to put the stamp lines in. Let me put these inks away, guys. And then I'm going to come back and we are going to do a little bit of stamping. Because I think adding the outline stamp, and we probably would have been able to see better. So in this instance, for me anyway, I should stamp first, then die cut it, and then stencil. I think that would have worked better. Okay? All right. So here we go. Let's grab this, take this off, and then the best way to remove it from a sticky mat is to bend it, roll it off. All right, then we're gonna find our acetate sheet. We're gonna cover this back. And then we're gonna end up putting it right back in the case. All right, so here's how I'm planning on stenciling or being able to align this guy. All right. I'm going to grab my stamp positioner. I got a lot of sticky mats, y'all. I do. I do have a lot of sticky mats. All right, let's put this guy back on here. Right? And what I want to do is I'm going to put this here. Just put it in there. And then I'm going to grab the stamp set. Okay. And I'm just going to put the stamp set, the stamps, right in. Try to line it. I think this is why it would have been better if I stamped it, because it would already be in position, right? Okay. Okay. Make sure that's back. If I put it back, perfect. Okay. Now I've got a scrap one here that I'm going to put right in place. Thank goodness I cut another one, right? And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp it to see how it aligns before I put any of the ones I ink blended back in there. Okay. Add the plate. And I don't mean for this to stamp perfectly. I really just want to make sure that it's in place. how far off it is. I'm a little off. I'm a lot off. Do you see? Yeah. So I'm off. Okay. I'm off a lot. Yeah. I'm gonna start again. And make sure, hold on. Oh, maybe that's what happened. Okay. This little guy was on there still. I don't think that was a problem, but nope. What I'm gonna do, ink this up. I just made a mess on my nails, and I just got them done yesterday. Oh no, ink off, right? And then all I'm gonna do, I always make sure that my mat is lined in the corner, right? So that is always my point, right? And then I'm gonna, oops, that's not gonna work. Okay. And what I'm gonna do, oh, that should be better. Hold on. I'm just gonna draw a couple of reference lines in here. Yep. That way I know where to put it back, right, when I come back. Because I am going to die cut this. This is going to be my new template now. Things are a work in progress sometimes. Okay. They are, or they can be. Right? So give me a second. Let me die cut this. So note to self, right, is I'm going to stamp it, die cut it. Right? Use the die cut as your template. Now, I didn't use my positioning tool to align it properly. Oh my gosh. I don't think this is going to work. Right. Okay. And once you start, you're going to find a rhythm and a groove that works for you. Right? So I know that this was here. And I know that this, so the die cut, the stamped was towards the bottom and it cut. So I'm hoping, all right, that I'll be able to align it properly. Let's try this one again. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. There we go. All right. I'm gonna stamp it again, and hopefully it's back in line with where it needs to be. And then that way we can put our stamp lines into our images, right? So if we did that, how close are we? Ah, perfect. So now I know. It's perfect. Yes. Close to perfect anyway. All right, let's start with our first one. We're going to go with this one. That way if we mess up on anything, it'll be this one. All right? Perfect on this side. Let's do some adjustments on this side. Make sure that's sitting straight. Outstanding. Not moving we didn't move the basic template, right? So everything should stamp perfectly. So several things went wrong in this process, right? This is going to be off. It looks off down here and down here and there. It's going to be off. I can see it already that it's going to be off. I could tell you that it was off, but it's not too bad that it's off, right? I kind of like it actually. It does fill it out though. So do you see what it looks like now that it's stamped? Yeah. All right. We are going to risk it this time. So we have two of them. We are going to risk it. We know this side is perfect, right? This is this side right here. That was my blue line right there. So something shifted. something shifted just a tad, and I'm going to make that adjustment. And because I'm going to make that adjustment, I'm going to have to be happy with what I get. So let's get this up here, and we're just going to make everything else align. This is a lesson in what not to do. Okay? See, that's back there. It is. Sometimes you just got to see it. You got to see it sometimes. And then that way you know how to adjust. Right? You know how to adjust. Right? And the thing about, because it's photopolymer, I can see how far off I would be, or how close on target I am, and then I can make that decision before I actually add the stamp to the paper. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, let's see what we got here. Again, we're off, and we're off a lot. Yeah, we're off. Yeah, so let's put this back in here. Yeah, the problem was when we stamped it, it cut off the bottom, right? And because it cut off the bottom, it's very loosey-goosey at the bottom, right? And because of that, it's not one cohesive unit. Lining it up, making sure it's back where it was when we stamped it the first time, is proving to be just a little challenging. So we're going to start again, and we're going to do some adjustments, and hopefully we'll get it right. And if not 100% right, we'll get it close to right. Right? After all, we are not Hallmark. At least I'm not. You might be, but I'm not. Right? All right, let's take a look and see where we are now. Oh yeah, I think we got it. Oh my gosh, I think we got it. Huh. I think I got it. Ha. I think I got it. It was a struggle, y'all, but we got it this time. Oh my gosh. Ha. I love it. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it when a plan works. Sometimes you kind of just have to stick with it, be a little patient, do a little due diligence on it. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. I am excited. Okay, so now that that's good, I am going to add another layer with the VersaFine Clear ink, and I am going to heat set that, or emboss that. Oh my gosh. Let's hope I don't mess it up this time though, but I think we got it good. Guys, thanks for sticking with me as I work through this. But I love it, and yep, it's awesome. And if you are new to my channel, thank you for sticking with me and being patient with me as I work through this. Go ahead, like, subscribe to my channel. Guys, I am giving away one of these cards that I create tonight. Just comment hashtag share or hashtag like if you'll share the video. And then if you're watching on the replay, just comment hashtag replay. Let me put this on here until I can clean this up. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of heat embossing. So that's the other thing you can do with this set, is, or any set once you do that, is you can go back in and heat emboss with gold. You can heat emboss with another color. I'm just going to add some clear embossing powder on this to finish this up. And see, this is what we got. Now this is going to be, because I did die cut it out of a quarter panel, which was 4 by 5 1/4. So this is going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm sorry. So this is definitely going to take up an entire card front if we leave it the way it is, right? So we might want to cut it, but we'll see. We'll lay it out and we'll see what we create. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. I'm happy that it worked out. Yeah, I'm excited that it worked out. And I didn't panic 100% when it had all that white space, and I'm like, how come it's so white? Did I miss a step in the stenciling process? Okay. Trying to make sure that I have embossing powder everywhere. Now the reason I'm embossing it is I want to get a bit of a shine on it, right? Now, I could have stamped in Versamark Clear and then embossed with gold embossing powder, because the colors there make it perfect for gold. But I'm gonna just do the black and excuse me, VersaFine Clear, clear embossing powder. That sneeze just kind of rattled my brain there. All right, let me cover this. Okay. And then all I'm gonna do is heat set it. You see the artist's lines are so clearly defined now with the heat embossed. Perfect. All right, now let's create a card. I am going to create a card with the other one. I didn't think that one was too bad. So I am going to create well, it wasn't bad at all, actually. All right, let's move this out of the way. Now this is the part you guys are all waiting for, right? Is for Caron to create a card. All right, let's see what I'm gonna do here. So I am bringing in a panel that is 4 1/4. I'm sorry, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. As you can see, this flower in and of itself takes up the entirety of that card, of that panel. Um, I got a couple of, we're gonna add a little bit of zhuzh, more stenciling, guys, more stenciling. And go. What we're gonna do, there's so many ways to attach a stencil, right? And I'm gonna just grab me some wall safe tape, right? It is meant to be repositionable, but it is a little sticky and tacky, so I would tell you to make sure that you de-stickify it a little bit. Get rid of some of the sticky, right? Making sure this is even here. I'm gonna add this here like that, right? And then we're gonna add this like so. Oh God. Okay. Well, nope. All I'm gonna do now, hold on. More than one way to skin that cat, y'all. Put that over here and put this one over here. Okay. All right, so now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little bit of ink blending. I got colors in here of orange and yellows. Let me grab some Darling Duckling. I keep getting my fingers in the ink. Okay. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit of, for a background, right? And I don't want it all over the card, right? I don't want it all over. Just random, right? That's it. I just want a hint of a background. Grab the tape off. So do you see that? Just a little bit of a hint. And then I think I'm going to decide, I think I might cut this and then and have one flower. Let me trim this down. I don't ever do because I do like to layer. So I am going to trim this down to 3 3/4 by 5. All right. I know you're like, what did you do? And then I think I'm telling you, this is calling for me to do a little bit of surgery on here. It is. What do you think? Should I do a little bit of surgery on this? Cut that part. Yes, I am. It's begging me to do it. So because it is begging me, I have to do it. I know. I know, I know, I know. All right. So here's what we're going to do. And I don't want to cut off everything that I've embossed. Right? And I think here, right? And then here. Just like this. Right? I just did a little bit of fussy cutting, that's all. So now I've got 2 flowers, right? And because this has this edge over here, I'm going to line this. Okay, I got it. I'm going to put this like this, right? And then I'm going to bring this guy in like that. What do you think? Right? Or I literally could just use one of them. I don't have to use them both. Right? Leave this here. No, but I want to use this guy. We did this, so we're going to use it. All right. Well, we know definitely this guy's going up here. So let's get him on. This is definitely a create on the fly event. Definitely a create on the fly. Okay. Now, I knew I wanted this guy in that corner. So this is how he's going to be on there. Right? Like that. And him, I think that's what we're going to do down here. Right? I don't always get it right, y'all. Right? that's what we're going to do with that. Okay. Perfect. Then we're just going to trim this off. I'll let that sit for just a second before I trim anything off. Burnish that in there. And this is our card. And I'm going to stamp a sentiment right down there. And this will be done. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So we trimmed the panel down to 3 3/4 by 5. And then we're just trimmed off any of the excesses. And I know, see that, oops, there's some areas where I did not put some adhesive, so I do need that to be adhered down. Right, like so. And that's it, I think. That everything else was good. All right. All right. Now, what sentiments do we have in here? We can put our sentiment in the middle. If you're still with me, I think I'm going to use Fabulous is Your Everyday Look. So I can put that in here. Ooh, oh, Hello Gorgeous. Fabulous is Your Everyday Look. I'm using both of them. Ah! I know, I know, I know, I know. So I'm going to put my sentiment right down here in that corner. I love it when I have what I call a great idea. Right? I got to stand up. Hmm. Make sure that's straight. Okay. Make sure I've got pretty good ink coverage. Fabulous is your everyday look, darling. Right? Perfect. And then sometimes you guys don't see I mean, I know you go through it in your own creative processes, but sometimes you don't see for us that make videos and stuff like that. I mean, I do not practice my cards before I come on live. I just kind of wing it. I have an idea, and sometimes it works. I don't know how, I don't know why. Hello, gorgeous. I like that. I like the idea of saying hello, gorgeous. I do. Don't you? All right, so what I am going to do, if I have some black cardstock, and I do, am going to heat set it. I'm going to heat emboss. Oh, do we want to go gold? Oh, we might go gold. Gold on black or white on black? If you have an opinion, do I do gold on black or white on black? Whatever is the first comment I see, that's where I'll go. Gold on black or white on black. Okay. I don't see any comments, so I think I am gonna go with gold on black. No, white. No, my gold's right in front of me, so I'm just gonna go with the gold. Sometimes that's just the way it is. It's what's in front of you. Isn't that what they used to say? The squeaky wheel gets the grease? Well, it's what's in front of you gets used. Okay. One more time with the heat embossing tool. Okay, guys, there is a die for this, but I am not going to bring out my die cutting machine for this. I am simply going to fussy cut around it because it's an easy one. Mm-hmm. 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 And I don't want such a big border around it, so I'm gonna come back in and get a closer cut. Just a bit of a closer cut. Okay, and that's it, guys. I am now going to, once this is done, I'm going to mat this on a little bit of black cardstock. Alrighty. Perfect. Right there. Where's my take your pick? Where's my take your pick tool? One, two, and I am going to, I'm not going to cut that with that. I'm dropping things, y'all. I'm dropping things. Remember when I was in the military, you drop something, right? Sergeant Major, your first sergeant would say, just follow it down. Just follow it down. You did so many push-ups. You did push-ups because you walked on the grass. You did push-ups. Well, you did push-ups because they wanted you to, I guess. Oops. Build character. Alrighty. Alrighty. Might be easier just to take it off with the fingernails. Alright. So let's make sure we line this properly. So we want it to be about here. Right? And it looks straight to me. Is it straight? It looks straight. Doesn't mean it is, but it's as straight as my eye can see it. Alright, so now that that's done, guys, we are almost done with this card. I'm going to grab me some black cardstock. I did this at 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm going to grab a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. Normally I would punch the inside out. I'm just going to mat this on there. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I always mat with black or another darker color, but I used black in this instance, so excuse me, black is what it is. Okay. I'm going to pop it up with some foam tape. You should see the mess just to create this one card. Leave a note in the comment for me and let me know if when you are creating a card, if your workspace looks like a hurricane has run through it just to create one card. Because that's what mine looks like. A hurricane went through it. No joke. Alrighty. And of course we got to put gems on this because we have to add a little touch of oomph. Okay. Make sure this is all aligned, adhered. Okay. I'm going to pull it down a little bit on that side, on that side. Another trick that I learned is especially when you're putting on dimensionals, especially if you're using foam tape like I am, is don't pull it all the way off the release paper, the release backing, until you're sure you've got it lined up how you want it. Right? That's good. Then you can release these two. Make sure this side is aligned. And then these two, because now this side is aligned. Awesome. Okay, and then we are now going to put this on a piece of basic white cardstock. I am going to put some liquid glue on here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to align one side first, making sure I like the side and the top alignment, and then I'm going to go ahead and adhere the rest. There's one thing I did not do. Uh-huh. Let me grab my brush here, because we're going to do a little bit of splattering. It's never too late to add splatter. Where's my brush? Where is my brush? Okay. I did use the, oh, maybe some brown splatter. I'm going to go with this one. Okay. And then all right, the splatter queen said that's enough. All righty. So here we go, guys. Our card is finished. What do you think? I am going to add some jewels. I'm just going to let that dry for a bit, and then this card will be finished. Don't forget to comment. Comment with one, what does your craft room look like, or your craft space look like after creating one card? First person or anybody that comments gets into the drawing to win one of these cards, and I will do that drawing tomorrow, Sunday, the 1st of February. Check back to see who was the winner, if I have people that comment, and let me know what your craft room looks like after you've created a card. Guys, if you ever want to reach out to me, my name is Caron Bailey. My email will be scrolling at the top of the the banner. It's sweetsignatures@gmail.com. Please subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to like and share this video. Also, I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. If you would like to see more Stampin' Up! Products, definitely visit my online store at www.sweetsignatures.stampinup.net. Guys, on that note, thank you so much for joining me today. And I do hope that you comment to win one of our cards that we created this evening. I love this. Have a good evening, and thanks for stopping in.